part of it is clout chasing. They want to pretend to be journalists. They want to pretend to be true crime people. They want to pretend that what they're doing isn't harassment and cyberbullying. The problem is when they present their cases, they twist them in such a way that their viewers are left unsure whether this case is even closed or not. And they feel they have to go after people involved because they don't understand, because the story wasn't told correctly. It wasn't an open shut book. And they're telling it that way because they want people to go after me. They want to make it look like I'm a crazy person that is causing all of this, when in reality, they're doing it for views. They're changing the narrative and demonizing me for their own views and profit. They go after this case every time I bring up what they've done to my little brother, because I'm not going to let that go. They held a fundraiser and raised $1,500 to urinate on my brother's grave, and then my own maternal aunt went to the grave to stand in their place with a bottle of apple juice. That's not something you just let go. And in retaliation, they're going over these court documents and not bothering to let their audience know that this is a closed case and has been since the trial ended in 2013, when he confessed and was imprisoned. People keep coming to me, and I tell them to go to the police, because that's what I would tell anybody. If you have evidence of a crime, you go to the police. If the police tell you that that case is already closed, the next action is not to go back to harassing the person that you think did it. If you don't believe the police when they tell you that the case is closed, there is literally nothing I can say. But eventually, the police are going to get tired of you and your group. And they're not going to retaliate by reopening this case. They're going to look into who opened up the court documents, who got that Freedom of Information Act, and why the police are receiving all of these new updates on known articles that they have no reason to be updated about. Eventually, the police are going to look into it if y'all keep calling them, because that happens. But again, they're not going to look into reopening the case, because there is no case to be reopened. It is closed. They will be looking into Virgie, I guess, because he's the one that sent off for the documents, and looking into how he's been using those documents and questioning why those documents are now being used to harass the police about it, harass the witness about it. But it's not going to open the case. They're not going to stop. That's why I'm going to keep speaking out until YouTube actually pays attention to the fact that these channels they're cyberbullying channels, and they are targeted harassment. And the type of targeted harassment that they partake in is deadly. The goal is to wear me down on an emotional level to the point that I can no longer survive. They know I'm alone in life already. And when this first began, they started messaging people in my life to make sure that I had nobody. I lost a lot of people due to their lies in the first year of this. I lost my therapist, and I've lost a lot. I went off my medication for 6 months because of all of this, because they decided that they needed to contact my doctors and my therapist and let them know that they were treating a murderer. when they had absolutely no evidence, because I never did that. And if Adonis Paul and Virgie and Original Owl had treated the story with the respect that true crime channels treat these types of situations, there never would have been a question of whether or not it was me that did it. There never would have been statements saying, "Go tell her she's filth." Real true crime channels don't do this. Real news channels don't do this. I've never seen Philip DeFranco say, "Hey, here's this story, now go tell this person they're a piece of trash," to his millions of followers. Specifically because having that many people go after one person is extremely overwhelming. And it wears you down, and I've been dealing with it now for 2 years. Because the cyberbullying channels going after me are clout chasing, narcissistic, manipulative, abusive creators. And YouTube, for some reason, allows them to continue profiting.